I just bought this because it's one of the best Super Bowl commercials ever. The GMC XUV. It's the 0405 SUV Dream Team with the X5 XUV and the Xterra. Innovative monsters. On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we are here with my 2004 GMC Envoy I just bought, all because it had an amazing commercial. Roll it.
Multifunctional, adaptable, retractable. It's a sport utility with more utility. The new GMC Envoy XUV. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to. GMC professional grade engineering.
What is going on, guys? I am Watch J Ergo, and that commercial you just saw aired in like the 04-05 Super Bowl, something like that. And I bought this because that commercial was amazing, and I've wanted one ever since. I watched them play the drums with the Doors on a fleet of XUVs. Anyway, I picked this up today for $2,200. I'm gonna take you around, show you everything there is about it, everything that's broken on it, and we're gonna get this right back out the door. I think I got a pretty good deal on it. It's not too broken. I drove it here. So let's go see what's actually wrong with it and check out all the epic, innovative features. This thing was way ahead of its time. And another way of saying that is it probably didn't ever need to exist. But it may be one of the greatest truck crossover truck SU trucks ever made. All right, the Envoy XUV. Let's go inside here. First, we've got some aftermarket fisheye mirrors out there so you can see everything around you. And this one is optioned with the faux carbon fiber. But it's really not optioned with anything else. This is the low option trim, the SLE, and other than the fake carbon fiber, I don't think it has anything. I mean, it's got OnStar, I guess, and HomeLink. Those might have been options. OnStar came pretty standard at that point. But as you can see, we don't have the special seats. We don't have the leather seats or anything, even though they're patterned, just like everything else GM was making back then. Pontiac got to run wild with seat patterns and build cool cars like the Aztec. This is another one of GM's innovative, where they would just approve anything that was innovative, cars. So the rest of it you can see is pretty normal. This is sweet. Power pedals. Power pedals were probably an option, I would guess. Only this seat's power. You can see it's got some wear on it with 170 something thousand miles on the clock. Let's take a look. 172, 176. It was almost perfect. I should have stopped 4 miles ago. Okay. Up here we've got what's left of a K-tag up in the windshield, OnStar, HomeLink, and these controls are kind of the basis of everything that's cool on here. Here we have the sunroof, which does work actually. I tried it. A lot of times I won't, but GM sunroofs are awesome, so I do usually just go for it. This is the middle glass. This is the roof. The roof retracts, so it's almost a convertible SUV, and this is the rear glass. Tons of power glass in this car. So we've got 4 normal windows. The front 2 are auto, which is impressive. A lot of cars still didn't have many auto window switches in 04. The power sunroof is glass. The mid gate, which is down, is glass, and the tailgate is glass. So that is a ton. 7 pieces of moving glass in this car. Unbelievable. And hey, the whole roof retracts and it becomes a convertible, like I said. I was just rolling down the road with this thing with all of the windows open and it felt great. Not a lot of buffeting, super comfy. Everything else up here is pretty normal. We got dome light kill, the pop out to adjust the gauge intensity, brightness, whatever you want to call it there. Looks like should be auto headlamps, but that's DRL, and that's a get rid of DRL, which is pretty cool. A lot of cars don't have that. Fog lights might have been an option. Nice, simple gauge cluster here. Works great, does everything you want. Everything's good on this thing too. Great oil pressure, doesn't overheat. Pretty impressive for the old V6. We got a Blaupunkt head unit there, the New Jersey 2200 BT. Bluetooth, I didn't even think it had Bluetooth, so that's cool. And it has USB. I should have thrown my phone in there. On the 4-wheel drive, check it out. You've got 2 high, auto 4-wheel drive, and then you can actually manually put it in 4 high and 4 low, and rear wiper down there. that it does know if the tailgate's open and won't turn on. 2 power outlets, glove box that has a manual, looks like, and a manual for the CD player, and the remote for the CD player. Awesome. Just a CD holder, some extra screws, weight reduction, and a whole bunch of pennies. That's the center. Very, very bad cup holder design. There's one tiny one here that gets in the way of the shifter, and one here that gets in the way of you resting your hand on the shifter. Don't worry, we're getting to the exciting part. I don't want to show it to you yet, but here's the center row. It's only a 2-row SUV in reality, but back here we've got climate controls, power for the climate controls, another 12-volt outlet, and cup holders that aren't broken, so that's pretty cool. And here comes some of the good stuff. Hope you guys are excited about this as I am. So this should, let's see, so that flips the seat, and then this, hit 2, lets you flip the whole seat over, and then you're starting to kind of see where I'm going with this. Let's go to the other side. You also have to open this seat, so we'll hit 1, and then hit 2, flip that thing up, it locks, and then you grab this button right here, ready? And this thing has a gigantic truck bed. Look at that. Full sheets of plywood if you want. You can get 4x8s in this thing. You might have to have the tailgate down, but this is fully sealed. You can see there's just like the Avalanche, make sure you're cleaning this all the time. Make sure the drains are clean or they overflow and fill the cabin with water. These seals have to be wiped down if you want them to continue working, because you don't want a bunch of dirt in there letting water through. That is just so cool. And then coming around here to the back, I can show you that everything is broken. Literally all of this stuff is broken. Tailgate's not working right. The roof won't retract because it doesn't think the tailgate's closed or the roof's closed, one of the two. And then this tailgate is really cool because right here you push this switch, you'll hear a little, right? Yeah, you can kind of hear it actuate there. A little pressure switch right there. And that lets you swing this tailgate open like that. Really cool, obviously. Got a whole lot of access right here. You can walk right in. There's nothing in the way like a truck obstructing your access to the bed here, or the cabin, whichever one you want. It doesn't close because it's broken, but it did actually when I picked it up, and then I used it once and it broke. So I'm gonna try to get that open there. It's gonna get mad at me. And then you can use this stay right here when the tailgate's open to attach to these bolts right here. There's a upper and a lower. This one lets you keep the tailgate angled and open, and this one lets you keep the tailgate flat like it's an actual truck. So let's go close that. It's a big pain because it won't stay shut. I know the tailgate has power because the third brake light works, and the DIC, the Driver Information Center, tells me that the tailgate is open. And when I tried to use the wipers, it said the tailgate glass was down, so it knows all the status, but it doesn't work. I've also tried to use all the switches up in the roof console, and I can't get the roof to move or the glass to move. Let's see what happens if I just try this. Oh, it actually threw an error. I wonder if it'll tell me what it is. Nope, just beep. And speaking of all the innovative features in the XUV, listen to this. That's the mid-gate motor. I'd say that regulator is trash. So today's to-do list, I hope, is to get the mid-gate working, because then at least you could drive around and have a sealed cabin. Right now you cannot do that since the back gate doesn't work either. This is a really good looking truck. It sits really low to the ground, and I don't think this one has the air ride. I think it's a solid axle. You could get these with air ride. I don't know if you could in the XUV, but you could in the Envoy. Under the hood, we've got the Vortec 4200 V6, drive-by-wire. Nice packaging, obviously a super reliable engine other than head gasket failures. GM tested these things to death, like 300,000 hours of running or something crazy before they actually released them. So they beat on these things for like 2 or 3 years before this engine was ever released. And man, I just keep finding problems. This is like a vacuum line into the intake, not attached. At the car wash, Eric noticed that like PCV line wasn't attached. And making 270 horsepower, 275 foot-pounds of torque, which is plenty. I mean, this thing doesn't weigh anything insane, you know, it's a big truck, but at the same time, it's enough power to get it around and it feels nice to drive. So super quiet too. We walked away from this. It was running for quite a while I was buying it, and you could barely hear it just a few feet behind it. So that is pretty impressive in itself. Tires look pretty bad all the way around. I think they match and they're all pretty bad. All right, tailgate module, tell me your secrets. I need to know. I bet the powertrain's good. And then as soon as I say it, one code. Yeah, BCM errors. That's what I needed. Hopefully that tells us what's actually wrong. The radio's been replaced, so of course that's got faults. There we go. Indicate module. Yes. I was seriously hoping first I can clear it, which will probably make it work again. And I was really hoping it would give me some idea of what's wrong back there. So I guess the computer's not bad. Good news. Ignition switch circuit 1. Okay, I'm not worried about that coded one bit. And it looks like it's actually fine. SRS, some fault. Oh, class 2 data link malfunction. There's all those BCM errors. Possibly some battery issues or something. I know that one was erroring out because of the tailgate. Don't care about any of that. There's what we care about. Upper right in-gate ajar switch circuit. Yeah. I could actually see that being the problem. It is a history DTC though, so let's go ahead and clear everything. It's kind of a sad deal that these things didn't work out because I do think it's extremely cool, but there's just no demand for it. What people want is just a gigantic SUV or a truck, not the like, we did a pretty good job making both thing. These things were very rare, only 27,200 of them. So the parts aren't just sitting around in stock for these trucks. So $2,200 bucks, I think it's a pretty good deal. And people are saying that these things sell for upwards of $5,000 if everything works right, which is crazy. I didn't think that was even remotely what I was gonna get out of this. But anyway, that's my new XUV. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Should be out of here really soon. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to head on over to shop.watchjrgo.com where you can get cool shirts, not like this. And please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will talk to you next time. Update on the Xterra. Apparently FedEx has just given up on everything. My transmission is still in Memphis, which it was guaranteed to be here like last Wednesday. And all my other packages, everything's just on hold. So if you wonder why we're just buying a new car, I had to work on something.
Are you videoing this?
Yeah, we got some serious gaming going on over here.
Nerd on his head.
El Scotto is just...
Choose a track.
Don't pick the hardest one this time. Go to the bridge. Go on.
Come on!
There you go.
Shibuya.
There you go.
Select an upgrade.
Pick the wrong one again. What's up, buddy? Hi.